joining us now on the MARR Army Rock Show. Very excited to have Mia from Crucified Barber back. It's the second time we've had somebody from the band. We had Claire on last time, and Mia, I'm really glad to talk to you today. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine, thank you. We just went to the Niagara Falls and had a look, and it's, having a great time on tour.
So, tell us a little bit about some of the details of the tour. I know you're out with Girls School. How long are you out, and how's the tour going?
We are in total out for like 3.5 weeks, and we're almost, I think we have a few shows left. So, it's been a great tour. We're having a lot of fun and great gigs in US and Canada. So, it's really, really awesome.
Now, I've had the pleasure of seeing you play live here in the States a couple of times, and for folks that somehow don't know, you guys are from Stockholm, Sweden, but what's the biggest difference about touring here in the U.S. and touring over in Europe?
I think it's like every country has their differences, but I think for as a touring band, it's always appreciated that it can get food like any time of the day or night. So that's very available here in the States, I think. So that's a good thing when you're on the road. I think maybe it's a bit more friendly climate here as well, like than in Europe. Like people are more like, it's a bit warmer, I would say.
So you said getting the late night food. That's funny. So what do you go for late night here when you're here that you can't get in home?
Yeah, but then you can actually eat food at any hour of the day. Like if you travel when you're touring in Europe, for example, you just see mostly like highways, and the truck stops are not that good. You can eat. Most of us are also vegetarians, so it's really, really difficult to find food. But that's much easier. So, really appreciate that.
Now, hey, the album In the Red's been out for a little while, and it's doing great, but the new single out is Lunatic #1. Tell folks a little bit about that single, what the song's about.
Yeah, it's a kind of up-tempo song that we really enjoy playing. It's a positive song. Like the lyrics is about having a teammate or a best friend or anyone that can, like, together you're becoming invincible. You're like reaching the top. And it's we just released a video for it as well. We were out running in the forest and riding horses and stuff, and it's actually one of our favorite songs to play. So it's really fun to release it as a single.
Yeah, I was watching that video, and the video itself made the woods look kind of scary. Tell us where that was filmed. What woods were those?
Yeah, it's actually a bit outside Stockholm in Uppsala. It's called, we were looking for the scariest forest we could find. It's a bit outside Stockholm. Really beautiful place.
Now here, I would be afraid of finding a Bigfoot out there. Is there such a thing as Bigfoot, the legend in Sweden? Does that exist, or is it something different?
I think the most scariest thing, except from bears and some wolves up north, is that you might run into Crucified Barbara, according to the video. We got some like big, I don't know what you call it, wild pigs stuff as well. So, but I think in general, Sweden is kind of harmless country when it comes to the forest.
Hey, so, I talked to a lot of different vocalists, and I know everybody warms up different. Is your warm-up routine a secret, or can you tell us what you do to warm up before a show vocally?
Actually, I don't do that much warm up. If I really feel really rough and tired, I need a lot of warming up, but I mostly like to warm up the muscles. Like, if the voice is rough, it's because everything is so tense in the neck and throat, so just try to make sure I'm warm before I get up on stage, and I try to like scream a bit behind the stage as well. But the warming up procedure is not that complex actually. Just try to have be focused and not worrying about too much that the voice will break or something like that. I think that worrying is like the worst thing for the voice.
I wouldn't have thought of that, but yeah, that kind of makes sense. Hey, a lot of the Scandinavian bands have a lot more of a theatrical kind of presence than some of the bands here in the States. Like when I think of bands from your region up there, you know, Avatar and 69 Eyes, and a lot more drama, and like you guys have a little of that too. Is that common from bands up there in, you know, Finland and Sweden in that area?
Do you think we have drama?
Well, your lyrics, they're not just plain like, get in a fast car.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's a little more
Yeah.
theater involved in your lyrics, I guess I should say.
Oh, okay. I get it. No, I think we just want to write lyrics that feel like important, because obviously people read our lyrics, and I think it's a waste of space to not use them to put out a message, or at least get out something that is important for you. So just try to make sure that even if we write a rock and roll lyric, it should have a meaning behind it, you know, a thought. So that's really important. And I mean, for the listeners, you can like choose if you want to just go with the music and the energy, but to give it another dimension, I think it's very important for us at least to have lyrics that has a message as well.
So, going around the U.S., and I know you've been here before, do you have a favorite city here as you're touring the States that you like to visit?
We can see much of the cities, really. We're just driving and driving. And we've seen so many cool cities that we just see one street where the venue is, and then we have to go, so it really sucks. But we had, I think that every city is like, when you see it's like, we want to go back and see more of it, so it's really hard to pick one. So,
Now, I've seen you play a couple acoustic tunes, and I like what you do acoustically. You sound great, especially on this tune, Jennifer. Is it hard for a band with a heavy presence like you guys to do acoustic?
It's kind of difficult to set the sound and figure it out how to do it. We try to put a lot of energy on finding how to actually play it and how to rearrange the songs if we do them acoustic or without distortion. But I think it's kind of fun to do it as well, like put some dynamic to the set and just take it down a few minutes and then go back to 110% again. You know. So we put in some of that sometimes, not always though.
So when you guys write your music, are you writing on electric guitars, or are you writing like on a piano or an acoustic? Like, how do you write? What instrument are you using?
Most of the time we write everything together in the rehearsal room nowadays. So then we just have our guitars and everything is just on. But it happened that we written some stuff on acoustic guitars, but we just try to make them like so they can work directly. You know, you figure out if it's we just jam together in the rehearsal room.
So I don't recall ever hearing you guys play a cover tune. I've seen you a couple of times. Do you ever do a cover tune? Is there any band that you do a cover tune of?
We mostly just did one cover. Is Killed by Death by Motorhead. And we play that since like 2004 now, so I think it's time for a change we've been talking about for a long time. But it's so hard to find time to just, play other people's songs. And then, we also recorded a Kiss cover for a German football team collection CD back in the day. So we'll see what comes up next time. We talk about it a lot, but it's hard to find time to do a cover song. We're up for suggestions, so.
Yeah, I don't have one ready. I'll have to take one back and make sure I message that one out there. So. Yeah,
that's how we say it as well.
Hey, so one last thing. When you were a girl in school and people knew you, would they be surprised to see what you're doing now? Like, were you the kind of kid that nobody would have expected to be doing what you're doing, or is that going to be not a surprise to people?
I don't think it was a surprise. I mean, I started to play already as a teenager. Like my last years in high school, we started back when I was 14, 15. Me and my friends, we were a bit like outsiders already then, and we started the band together, and like, so it was a natural process, I think. So, yeah. No, I don't think anyone is surprised now that I meet from school back in those days now.
So
maybe I'm surprised though. I'm surprised myself that I'm actually on tour in the States and playing in the States. For example, playing in Seattle that we did a couple of days ago. I would never have dreamed that, because like Seattle was the town where the music we grew up with came from, and to be on a stage there was really a big moment. I wouldn't have dreamed of that when I was 14, that it would actually happen. So that was really awesome.
Well, you guys have truly earned it. You're a great live band. What are you doing when this tour's over? Are you heading back home, or are you going somewhere else to tour? The tour finished in June 15, and then we go back home to Sweden and celebrate some Midsummer Eve. And then we start the summer festival time. So we're gonna, basically every weekend this summer we're touring in Sweden and in Europe. So yeah, that's it. The summer is quite fully booked with festivals, which is great. Well, we're really anxious to see you every chance we get, and someday I think it'd be really cool to see you guys and some of the other bands from Sweden that we love over there. I gotta get to a Swedish festival one of these days.
Yeah.
We're gonna do that.
Yeah, come by.
Well, the album is In the Red. The new single is Lunatic #1. The music video is very cool in that scary forest. And, hey, Mia, thanks for being here on the MARR Rock Show this evening.
Oh, thank you so much for having me.